Hello all my wonderful AJR fans out there. In this video, I'm going to be doing a tier list of all the songs on the Click. So how this is going to work is I'm going to run down the full album, starting with the very first song and going down to the very last, and just rank them based on S being the highest and D being the lowest. And before we get started, I just wanted to encourage you to listen to what I have to say about each song instead of just like skipping through them to see where I ranked them. Because I might absolutely love a song, but rank it a little lower than expected. And that's just because I'm ranking these based on how I'm feeling right now. And lastly, if you haven't done so yet, definitely subscribe to the channel to get more AJR content just like this. And without further ado, let's get started with this tier list. All right, so the first song that we have is Overture. Now with this song, I love so much about this. I love how it starts with that click, and of course that's the name of the album. And it just has this great vibe when all the instruments start to come in the beginning, and is just great for an intro track. And because it's great for an intro track, it's not necessarily something that I would listen to outside of listening to this full album. It's meant to introduce the album, and it does, like I said, a great job of that. But because it's not a song that I actively seek out, I think I'm gonna put this as a B. All right, now moving on to the next song. But before we do, I just wanted to say that because there are so many songs on this deluxe version, I'm gonna kind of go through these a little quicker than I normally do. So the next song we have is The Good Part. And if you know me, you know I love Bach and I love classical music. So when they start off with that string melody, I think it's just the perfect juxtaposition between that Baroque style sound and this pop sound they have. And I think this song also helps to set up what the album is going to be like, kind of that bittersweet, sad vibe. But just because I love this style so much, I'm gonna put this as an A. All right, now moving on to Weak. Now with this song, it is definitely one of my favorite AJR songs. And I know it's like a popular one, but I think it's just beautiful for so many different reasons. Like even just with the overall theme of being weak and what's wrong with that not being a bad thing. It just is so relatable, and it's just with the beats, the instruments, the key change at the end, it just has so much going for it that I think Weak definitely deserves an S tier. And next we have Sober Up. And just like I said before with The Good Part, I feel like this song does such a great job of having that string melody mixed with the pop, and it's implemented so well. And honestly, I think this song, yeah, it definitely is in my top 5 favorite AJR songs, and just for that reason, I think I'm going to put this as an S tier. And outside the fact that it's one of my favorite AJR songs, it's honestly the song that really drew me into them. Like I had heard some of their music before, but after my sister showed me this song, I just had a new appreciation for them and just really fell in love with them after hearing this song. So I think because of all that, I'm going to rank this a little higher than Weak. Next up, we have Drama. So this is, I don't know, just a really good feeling song, and it's just a song you can really nod to. And, you know, when that first chorus comes in, it's just a bop. It's definitely an underrated song, and one that I feel like when I first heard it, I was like, okay, yeah, this is good, but I grew more appreciation for it the more I listened to it. I think I'm gonna put this, as a B. I know I was just talking it up a lot, but I think a little bit above Overture and just on the very high end of a B. I could put this as an A, but I think compared to the other songs on this album, I think a B is a good spot for that. All right, next we have Turning Out. And I think compared to the other Turning Out, part 2, I think I do like this one a little bit better. I just really like the melody in this song, and I think, you know, it sets the stage for the next song, and I just really find myself listening to it when I'm in that certain mood. I think I'm gonna put this as a B as well, between Drama and Overture. It doesn't like super stand out as like one of my favorite songs, but it does enough to where I think a B is pretty good range for this song. Next up we have No Grass Today, and with this song I feel like it's just, you know, a feel-good song. The bridge brings back the click, which is super cool, and we see that a few different times in this album. And, you know, specifically at the bridge, I am super impressed with the production of that. I think much like the other ones that I've been talking about, I think this does belong in that B range again. So just below Turning Out would probably be a good spot for this. All right, next we have 3:30. And with this song, I feel like I don't have a lot to talk about with the song because it's definitely not one of my favorites, but I think I really love the idea of the song more than I like the implementation of it. And because of that, I think I'm going to put this as a C. But next we have Call My Dad. So this is, of course, a very unique song because it pretty much just has that vocoder the entire time. I really like the music video for this, and I feel like it's just so risky to have a song like this, a song that doesn't have like instruments and just like a normal sounding song. But I really surprisingly do appreciate this song. I think for what it is a good song, and I can't believe I'm doing this, but I think I'm gonna put this as an A. It's definitely a song that stands out. It kind of reminds me of how on OKO, how we have The Trick. It has this weird sounding vocal part to it, and there's not a lot going on with the song itself, but it stands out and it does a good job for what it is. Next we have I'm Not Famous, and it's a very interesting message, and I love the beat for this song, especially like at the end of it, but I don't think it really does enough for me. It's definitely not one of those memorable songs on the album for me, and I think I'm gonna put this as a C, or at least a high-end C. I was kind of wondering if I should put this as a B, but I feel like compared to these other songs in this ranking, I think it's gonna be a C for right now. Next we have Netflix Trip, and with this song, I just remember my first experience listening to this song and how crazy it was when I understood what the song was about, you know? And it's just like, I know I'll never be able to relive that experience, and kind of just every time I listen to the song, I think about that. But what is so great about this song is not only is it ironically cool, it's also just really deep. So yeah, I don't know. I just really like this song, and I feel like I grow more appreciation for it every time I listen to it. So I'm gonna put this as an A, and I think I'm gonna put this just behind the good part. All right, next we have Bud Like You. So this is definitely one that stands out. You know, you remember it when you hear the line Bud Like You, you can hear those voices singing. And I think it's about like a minute into the song where that beat comes in and the choral part together. It just sounds incredible. I think this song does a lot, and it does get me a little bit, but I don't think it's quite good enough to be an A. I think I'm gonna put this in the B range. I think right there, actually, right behind Drama and Before Turning Out. I think that just makes a ton of sense for me. All right, next we have Come Hang Out. And with this song, it's one of those songs that I forget about, but then when I hear it, I'm like, oh yeah, I love this song. And I think there are certain parts about this song that I really appreciate, like just the fact of the message where it's like, should I follow the click in my ear? It's just, I just appreciate the play on words with that. And it's definitely a song that gets stuck in my head all the time. Man, where am I gonna put this? I think I'm gonna put this in the B range as well. Yeah, I think that's a good place for it. Right after Bud Like You, but Before Turning Out. I think it just makes a lot of sense to me there. I think on certain days, I like this song a little bit more, but right now, that's where I'm putting it. And next we have Burn the House Down. And with this song, it's kind of an interesting one because I feel like so many people know AJR from this song because it was super popular when it came out. So it's definitely a classic, and that like dirty horn part, I just love that timbre of that sound so much. And I think I'll put this as an A, just because like everything that I just said, and the chorus is a banger. But I think I'm gonna put this as a low end A, just because I feel like it's one of AJR's popular songs, but there are so many other songs that I appreciate a little bit more than this song. So I feel like putting this at the low end of A, maybe before Call My Dad, just kind of makes a lot of sense to me. All right, we have 3 songs left. We have Role Models next. And this one, I'm not going to talk about too much just because I feel like it's one of those songs that's forgotten, and it's good for what it is, but honestly, it just doesn't do enough for me. So I'm going to put this as a C. And then next we have Normal, of which I feel very similarly about Role Models. It's a song that's kind of forgotten. And I'm going to put this in the C range, probably right about here. I think between I'm Not Famous and 330. That sounds right. And last but not least, we have Pretender. And I think I mentioned this in the last episode, that there's always a song for me that's kind of just the hidden gem that I feel like I appreciate a lot, that isn't super well known. And I feel like Pretender is that song on the album for me. I just think that this song doesn't have to try too much to be a great song. And I think, honestly, I'm going to put this as an A for me. That sounds about right. All right, so this is my list so far. I am going to rearrange it, or at least go through it and see if I need to rearrange anything. So let's kind of do that right now. And that, my friends, is my entire ranking of all the songs on the Click. Now, of course, if you enjoyed this video, definitely give it a thumbs up and leave a comment letting me know your thoughts. And like I said before, if you haven't done so yet, definitely subscribe to the channel. Especially with this new album coming out, there's just so much news and updates to cover that I promise you won't regret subscribing. But thank you so very much for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba.